David Muir was reporting, and by the way, I remember when my house was lost to fire, my neighborhood burned, and there's just ashes and nothing left all around. And David Muir and World News set up right in front of my house. I mean, I wasn't there anymore because of the fire, but you know, it was kind of wild. And so to see David Muir setting up again for yet another California fire was something. But then the internet noticed something about David Muir, and you will see it here. And again, this is just the lighter side, if you will, for a moment. As David Muir turns, and he looks so good, that David Muir, you know, with the wind blowing, and he's wearing that ABC News yellow slicker.
You know what? He looks clean.
He does. He looks clean. He looks ready. He looks
like he hasn't been on the street reporting all night. He looks like he was cozy in a little trailer sitting next to the
you
fire.
know what, Kim?
And when
how
they
dare
said
you?
time for a live shot.
How dare you insult my David Muir?
Why are you yelling?
All right, now watch him as he turns. As he turns, there are the paper clips. No, I mean, what are those? Clothespins. Clothespins there behind him, pulling his jacket slightly tighter so it gives the look when he turns forward of it being form-fitting and of him being slim and handsome, which is what he is, Kim, and you can't deny it. And I actually love that he did that. I have mad respect for that. How's that? People are going, oh my God, can you believe he did? Yeah, I can believe it. It's TV. You gotta, I have mad respect.
The jacket was just too big, okay? There's a vanity in the face of a crisis.
It's not vanity, it's television. Let me tell you something. On this show, all the time, I get, oh, at least you're not wearing that T-shirt again, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, please. I'm not really worried about the wardrobe day to day. I'm trying to get information and get good guests for you and that sort of thing. But they're always, and they're large groups of people who sit there and are, their buzz is killed if David Muir's jacket isn't tight and he doesn't look handsome. So I have mad respect for him, but Kim clearly on another side of things. Anyway, her favorite guy, Kim's favorite guy, is Anderson Cooper, who we also here's Anderson Cooper.
So can I just say, look at Anderson Cooper. He's been out all night long. He's sooty. He is dusty. He's exhausted. He's been reporting. This is a reporter's reporter. There's no, let's clothespin the back of my jacket. He's getting out and talking to people. See, David Muir, he just came out of the trailer. Anderson Cooper, he's doing the real work.
No, I completely disagree. First of all, we don't even know if that ash is real. I mean, you know,
he could have hands. Yeah, look at his hands are all like filled with soot.
It's brilliant. Why do you think what do you think he's putting his hands up toward the camera? He's got special ash makeup in the truck. He only I have no I have mad respect for both those.
That's real.
Yeah, all right. But there he is talking to Gavin Newsom, and that brings us into the more serious part of things. So,
The Mark Thompson Show.
Yes, I believe the latest numbers, 5 dead in all of this, and thousands, of course, evacuated, and many more thousands in structures and residences left in ruins. It is a fire that was energized by unprecedented Santa Ana winds, gusts to 100 miles an hour, as we discussed before, and I think we've touched on from time to time. Regardless of what assets you have, when you have even winds of 40 miles an hour, there's just no way to beat back flames with hoses. You cannot, it doesn't matter what physical assets you have to fight the fire. 40-mile-an-hour winds are going to drive that fire, and there's no beating it back. And so when you have winds double that, you can imagine the devastation. You don't need to imagine. That's what we've seen. Albert, we have scenes from the fire that I will share with you. I mean, it's a total devastation. Is that what we're doing first, those scenes, Albert? Is that what we have? Yeah, this is the Palisades fire. And again, the problem here was that in the Palisades particularly, and Malibu, where there was so much destruction, the problem was air assets like you see here. Look how effectively that puts out. This is in Hollywood, okay? That was in Hollywood last night. Now, Hollywood last night was gridlocked because people were fleeing that blaze and they were told to evacuate. But the 15,000 acres to which they've referred, that's Malibu. That's the beach and the water behind it. All of those homes, and you see there in the burnt out ash of a car, all of them are right there on the coast. This is some of the most expensive real estate in the world. It's Carbon Beach, La Costa Beach. That's where David Geffen lives. That's where Dr. Dre lives. So these are people with a lot of money, and their homes reflect it. And their homes are now a total loss.
At least when you're talking about people with that much money, maybe it's easier for them to come back and rebuild than people who are solely relying on the insurance money, because without it, they'd be destitute.
Yeah, I think that that's a decent point to make. I guess what the reason it's particularly notable is I'm pointing to the fact that no one was spared.
Sure.
Right? Regardless of how rich you were, regardless of where your house was, you were, and Pacific Palisades, and this is where they're fighting these fires, and again, this is going scene to scene. The Pacific Palisades area is filled with some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in all of America, and particularly show business people, producers, agents, people who have terrific fortunes that they have built on work in show business. Now, the mayor was confronted there. You just saw it in a second. She was coming back from a prearranged trip, but she has her own controversy to deal with because she did cut the budget, the firefighters' budget, by $17 million. And so you have to, I think, account for that if you're the mayor of Los Angeles. The other thing I would say, though, is I don't believe that $17 million more would have made a difference. This is, as I said, it's a confluence of events with the wind velocities in excess of anything we've seen driving these fires. And that, coupled with the fire, I think it made it an untenable situation to in any way contain.
They were also trying to blame Mayor Bass for the lack of water pressure in the fire hydrants. And I don't think you can blame her for that either, because you have so many people tapping into the fire hydrants at the same time. The water pressure is going to be really low. So I don't know if that is her fault either. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I completely agree, at least on the surface. I mean, if we need to talk about this more, we will. I think this is a situation that will extend well beyond the mayor's office. There are certain grim realities about life in California, but the blame game has started, and it's not Mayor Bass. Donald Trump took the opportunity to exploit this situation for political gain. And I wanted to run a little bit. I just thought this was a decent summary. It's only a couple of minutes. Give it a go. And this is Donald Trump laying it out at the feet of Gavin Newsom. When this is by the way, I'll just tell you this is a fire that started in the city. It is not a fire that started in some woodland that hasn't been maintained appropriately, and if only they would clear the forest floor. This isn't a forest fire. This isn't a wildfire. So you GOP pieces of dung who turn and blame Californians and their leadership for this are barking up the wrong tree. This is a devastating loss we've endured. We've been up for 3 days straight with this crap. We have our cars packed with all of our personal belongings, ready to take our animals out on a constant edge of our seat preparation. I mean, literally, I haven't slept in days. And we have to listen to the politicization of this moment. It's disgusting. It's grotesque. Go ahead, Albert.
Elect Trump attacked Governor Newsom. Writing on Truth Social, Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California. He is the blame for this. Governor Newsom's office responded in a statement, "There is no such document as the water restoration declaration. That is pure fiction." And earlier tonight, just a few moments ago, Governor Newsom himself responded.
People are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Joining me now is Charlie Sykes, an MS.
That's, I thought he said it quite well. The point is that this very desperate situation is being exploited that way. It's disgusting. And you can see Trump just invents stuff, absolutely
because there
invents
is
it.
no, whatever that is, Water Declaration Act. There is that, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But let's just make it up as, as part of the whole blame game.
Yeah. He's,
and you know what's crazy, Mark? It's, you look around in situations and crises like this, and you look for the people that are helping. Is Trump helping? No, he's not helping.
Well,
What have we heard from Biden? Biden is just, he's doing his job. He's getting what the resources that California needs in place. What is Trump doing except stirring up trouble? Nothing.
I don't know that you can say F you to him, Randy. Newsom at some point needs to be less diplomatic, Randy says, and just come out and say F you to Trump, and that Trump should learn what he's talking about before spouting idiocy. I mean, it sounds good in the moment. It's a little like saying, you should just need to go into your boss who's getting on your nerves and just tell him to F off and to get off your back. You're the, the most productive salesperson in the team. You can do that. You might feel good in the moment, but I guarantee it'll be about 45 seconds before you go, oh my God, what have I just done? Because you need some relationship with Washington. And Trump knows that, and he's using his leverage that way. But he's a despicable guy, and that's a despicable thing to have done, what Trump is doing and what Trump will likely continue to do. I'm just glad that Biden is president right now and able to divert and dedicate funds to the devastation in California. One other
Hi, it's
thing,
Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.